Hello, people of the internet. I'm the Plan, and welcome back to the Kilmac League. And I'll be going over the squads for each of the Kilmac League teams this season. And as you can see, we're going to start off with AS Flavins. Now, AS Flavins have a fairly solid squad. Now, they are one, of course, the new teams, but we are doing this alphabetical order, so this is the way we're starting off. As you can see, there's a few key players in this team. Mick McCarthy will be huge. The presence of Dinos off on goal will be good, as well as Anthony O'Callaghan. In midfield, they have Mert, and he's probably going to pull all the strings. They probably won't need anyone else. Nevertheless, they do play with a very attacking formation. Ferenc Puskás fills in at right back to make way for Theresa Keane and Kilmac League up front. Other than that, there's not much to say for AS Flavins. You will see more about them in the new season. Going by alphabetical order, the next team that we have on our list is, of course, Atletico Sunflower Shop. Now, we obviously have the dynamic winger duo in London, Amy Lynn. That's not going to be the only thing, though, while John Murray in defence is going to definitely help out in terms of defence. They have Zidane, Brady as well. That's going to be quite good. Johnny Lennon could be a key player coming off the bench, especially when the legs get tired out there. Jody in midfield, and Okwem, Jonathan, Shuri-Mala up front. It is going to be a very interesting team to watch this season. I don't know how it'll go for them, really. There's no telling with this Atletico Sunflower Shop team. And now we get to talk about a team that was in last season's Kilmac League, and that is, of course, Byron Kilmeaden. Samuel Clark is a second, Phil Swift, Graham Blow is a new signing, the man with the plan. Tambango Shango Krong Chapman really is going to be the key man in this team. He could have a great season or he could have a terrible season. We don't know with him, but he is going to be paramount to Byron Kilmeaden's success if they are to have any this season. I'm really looking forward to seeing this team play. I think they can really do well if it just clicks for them very early on. So all the best of luck to him. I am a bit biased, of course, but I try not to let that get in the way of my professionalism. So now we have another team that was in last season's Kilmac League. A team that did alright for itself. It is Century United, and as you can see, we have Mary Sexton on goal, with the departing Iker Casillas going somewhere else. Now we do have most of the same team. We have Alfredo Di Stefano coming in, of course. Legends all leaving, but it is still very much an unchanged team. There are a few new signings you'll see there, of course. Jaffa Man and PewDiePie, my mortal enemy, has accepted an invitation into the Kilmac League, and PewDiePie, of course, couldn't resist, especially when you see who's playing for Rainbow Hall FC. And now we have CF Dungarvan, a new team. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. This could be a wild season of lots of ups and downs. But as you can see, there's going to be a lot of focal points. But Eusebio is going to be definitely be relied on a lot to score goals up front, as well as Tommy Harty. Sean O'Neill is going to be the playmaker for the team and captaining this team in this season. But the defensive work of Lawler's Hotel and Mousie's Chipper cannot go underestimated in its importance. Coming up next, another team we had last season, Domino's Pizza Zimbabwe. And as you can see, there's just very, very little change with this team. Aoife O'Brien, who came in at the end of last season as a trialist, has, of course, signed for the club. And they do have those new legends back. So Andreas Iniesta and Edwin van der Sar. And Ian Rush, of course, will be great helps. But will they start in the lineup, or will they prefer to keep their African stars? We don't know. That's something we're going to have to look out for this season. Mid-table finish, I'm predicting for Domino's. Okay, so the Dunhill Electrical Company are a team I'm looking forward to. I don't have high hopes for this team, to be honest with you, but it will be entertaining nonetheless to see stars like Mega Mary Dunbar and Osama bin Laden try to carry this team all the way to Kilmac League glory. Really, though, it looks like it's going to be a relegation scrap for the season, so unlucky boys. Long-time fans of the Kilmac League will remember this team. Fire Station, of course, they didn't do too well. Got relegated, of course, but with the new signings, especially the likes of Killian Power and Cian O'Connor, it is of course hoped that they will do much better this time round, and of course Diego Maradona is going to be a huge help. I'm still predicting a lower mid-table finish though for Fire Station. Now moving on to Greenway Astros, and first of all, to get this out of the way quickly, the reason there are two Greenway teams is because there was a schism, because the Greenway Rovers couldn't decide which side of the Greenway they wanted to play on, the east or the west half, and so eventually it set to a split. The Greenway Astros playing the eastern half, while the Greenway Rovers playing the western half, so just to clear that up. Now half the players from Greenway Rovers left, and half of them stayed. We have Zoe Kelly, Kelsey Power, Adam Carney. We have 5 up front. Mary Dunbar is going to be relied on a lot to do in midfield, but hopefully she can do it. I have full faith in her to be up to it. And as with the five up front, you can expect a lot of goals, and Kenny Brown is going to be very busy at the back. Now time for the other Greenway team. As you can see, half the players have stayed on, but you could argue this is certainly the weaker half, with the allure of urbanised living not being quality. You can live on the Greenway, but that hasn't been enticing to many players. However, some players have stayed on, and especially Raul up front has been a great signing, as well as Kylian Mbappe. And they're going to be relied on a lot to score goals this season, because to be honest, they don't have much else. I predict Greenway Astros to finish higher than Greenway Rovers at the end of the season. There's not really a whole lot I can say. It's John Walters going to win the league for sure. A lot to talk about with this team. The biggest underachievers in the Kilmac League by far, getting destroyed in the cup and finishing 4th in the league. But Lar Kent, Luka Modric, Hotty Toddy, Buffalo Beef, it is an incredible midfield. And then with Adolf Hitler and Jelly Pizza on the wings, supporting Gary Lineker, who returns for another season at Kent, it's hard to see them not challenging for the league this season. I'm predicting a really strong and exciting season from Kent FC. I know what I said about the Kents being the biggest underachievers in the Kilmac League, but Kiersey's United are the most heartbreaking team to follow, losing 3 finals effectively in the past 2 seasons. It has been heartbreaking, but they've managed to keep most of their team together. They have lost a few players, and it has been tough for them to make up numbers, but they have done that, and now it remains to be seen, can they mount another title charge? It is uncertain, but I will be looking forward to it. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, Kildisco FC or CF, another new team being added. They've plenty of chairs now. They did try to include more chairs, but that did create big problems with movement, since none of the chairs would actually move. They do a solid job at the back though. Goals would be relied on from Kildisco himself, who does have Kilmac League experience. Mossy Landy the 25th, I beg your pardon, would also be of invaluable experience. MC Tyrone also will be a solid goalkeeper, so it's easy to see them doing well. I don't think they're good enough for a title challenge, but I think they will finish comfortably mid-table. Not much to say about Kilmac Thomas AFC really, aside from the fact that they were the double winners in our first season of the Kilmac League and then fell off, had a really bad start to last season, but managed to rally and finish strongly 3rd, only a game away from winning the Kilmac League title, and then a disappointing exit in the Kilmac League Cup, but yes, they have managed to keep their whole team together and have added Stanley Obora and George Best, as well as Paul Scholes, so it's very easy to see them improving on last season's performance and possibly winning the whole thing. Now directly from Kilmac we move on to the rivals Portlaw United, a new team being added, and they barely got in by the skin of their teeth, but it is a very strong team. Sean Power, of course, a very experienced striker. They've also got Wilfried Zaha. There was rumours he was going to Borussia Dortmund, while Portlaw paid for him by giving Crystal Palace Centra in Portlaw, so yeah, they've no food now, but that's okay. Warren Cleary, of course, is another experienced player, as well as Nathan Cleary-Osbury, and they're going to be relying on players like Fadongo TTT and Annie Quinn, 2 players who I made up. But yeah, it's going to be a very unpredictable season again. I don't know how this will go for them, but I'm hoping for good things. Now we move on to Rainbow Hall, the other team that was relegated in the first season of the Kilmac League. They have completely changed their squad. I don't think anyone is the same here. I could be wrong there, but yes, they do have the first of 2 Mr. Sheehan's that we have in this league, and they do have players like Mimsy and Kibsy, who will be of very, I suppose it's a big risk, taking a huge gamble on inexperienced players, but it could all pay off for them. However, I am predicting a very long season ahead for Rainbow Hall and finishing near the bottom of the table. And now we have Rathgormack Dynamos, aka Colchi FC, but with players like Mr. McDonald and William Walsh in defence, it is going to be very hard to see teams breaking down this defence. However, on the contrary, it's going to be very hard to see them scoring goals themselves. Willie John Kiley, however good he was for the Blues, is probably not going to be up to the standards of the Kilmac League, and so they're going to struggle. Didier Drogba could provide something off the bench, but then again, he is old, so I don't know. Really, I don't know what to expect from this team. I am predicting a lower mid-table finish though. And now we have a seasoned and fan favourite team coming up next, St. Declan's Athletic, and it's been a very, very unusual season, but they have lost the brig to St. Mary's. I'll get onto that in a minute. They have brought in Mr. Sheehan, and the printer has made some improvement. over the off season. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this team copes. They didn't have a great season last season, but they will be hopefully improving on that. And I can see them very easily doing so. However, I don't think it's enough to mount a title challenge. I was to say lower mid-table, or potentially, if things go really bad from the start of the season, they could be involved in a relegation scrap. And now we move on to last season's league champions. It is St Mary's Hurling, and yeah, it's going to be a huge season for them to see if they can defend their title. They have brought in the Brig, obviously. He will be playing centre back. But yeah, other than that, it's a very much unchanged team. Andrea Pirlo, though, however, looks like he will be a good addition to the squad. Roberto Baggio might not get a game, though, with all the forwards. So yeah, he's going to have to work his socks off. Other than that, not much to say. I will see them expecting a league challenge. The second last team we have to cover now, and it is Tesco Belleville Wanderers, the huge investors of the league. They have managed to invest another €50 into the team to hold it together. And they have brought in some very, very good players, of course, Tommy Carney and Ifa Dooley Cullinan. You know, they've brought in some very good players. And it's fair to say they are going to be challenging for the league this season. But we could have said that about them last season and it all fell apart. So hopefully this team will gel a little bit better than last season's one. We can only wait and see though. And last but certainly not least, it is TFR 155, new team being added this season. As you can see, Paul Casey, Fun Sauce, Miss Lucy, Josh Ryan, Frank Rijkaard, Caelan Quinn, Keane Power. It is a jam-packed team full of Kilmac legends themselves. And boy, I could see this team, they'll either go out there, they'll win 4-0, or they'll get destroyed 4-0. Either way, they will be a very entertaining team to watch. I hope they do really, really well in this new season. I have to say, I do have ties to TFR myself. If you're wondering what that stands for, I am going to say it in one of the games, but it does stand for the fucking retards of Rule 55. So yeah, I just don't want to be offending the YouTube censors by having a bad word in one of the team's titles. Anyway, that concludes the preview of the season. I hope you enjoyed and about the plan. If you like this video, like, subscribe and comment. And let me know who you think will win the Kilmac League this season. So until next time, until next Friday, when the matches will begin, that's when I'll see you next. So take care.